Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from York Racecourse here on Friday. It is May the 17th, 2019. I'm going to look at almost all the races on today's program from York, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for racecourses around the world. And also, check out my Pimlico special and Preakness preview videos here on YouTube, and also join me tomorrow for the lock-in from Newbury. But today's card from York is great. It's the final day of the Dante meeting, and let's get on to it. We're going to look at almost all the races except the first race, the 150, the Marygate Stakes. It's a very tough two-year-old race, and I just want to feel confident giving out a tip here in the 150. So we'll start our day in race number 2, the 225, which is the Oaks Farm Stables Filly Stakes. It's listed stakes for Class 1 horses going for per $64,000. Race for 3-year-olds only. Field of a dozen horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 8 horse, Magnetic Charm. I'm going to go 8-10-5 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 8-10-5 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection 8 horse Magnetic Charm. This 3-year-old filly by Exceed Excel, owned by Her Majesty the Queen. William Haggis trains. James Doyle picks up the mount. The horse hasn't been seen since the 13th of September. That came at Doncaster. 1 mile in the Group 2 William Hill Mayhill Stakes. The horse finished 4th by 2.5 lengths behind Fleeting, and he just never got into it, never quickened up. It just wasn't his day to win. I think starting off the season here in a lesser quality listed stakes, I just think she'll run a lot better. Before that, she ran on the 25th of August at Goodwood on the softer side of good ground, 7 furlongs in the Group 3 Prestige Stakes. She finished 6th by 2.25 lengths, and again, she just never got over the final, so to speak, hurdle. It wasn't her day to win. And then back at Newbury on the 7th of August, 6 furlongs in a maiden fillies Class 5. She won by 3.25 at 91 cents a dollar. She did everything right. She quickened up nicely, and it was a very good run. And then before that, Newbury, 6 furlongs in a fillies novice Class 4. She finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths. She closed up well. She ran a good effort, a lot. It was a good effort. Repeat myself. But I think she'll run well. She's a good poster. 5-1. I'll take her. So to recap my selection for the second, the 225 from York, it's the Oaks Farm Stables Stakes. Gonna go with the 8 horse Magnetic Charm. I'm a little tongue-tied today, so pardon that. I'm gonna go 8-10-5 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta to race number 3. The 3 o'clock, the third race from York. It is the Group 2 Yorkshire Cup. It's a Group 2 race for Class 1 horses going for a purse of $211,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses staying about 2,800 meters, or the distance of ground of about 1 mile and 3/4 on the turf course. A great prep race for the Gold Cup coming up in about 5 weeks or so from Royal Ascot. My top selection, I'm going to take the reigning champion of the Gold Cup from last year, the 1 horse Stradivarius. I'm gonna go 1-8-4 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 1-8-4 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection 1 horse Stradivarius. This 5-year-old horse by See the Stars. Frank Editori is getting on this one for John Gosden. He wasn't gelded, so this horse at the end of his career, when he goes to the breeding shed, he's probably going to be a great stallion. Not a lot of stayers you see, going to the breeding shed, so good for him. But this horse hasn't been seen since the 20th of October. That came at Ascot, 2 miles on very soft ground in the Group 2 British Long Distance Cup. He won by 1.5 lengths at even money. He had to be used a little bit that day, but he still got the job done. It was a good run. Wasn't as impressive as his race at in the Gold Cup last year, but he still got the job done. Before that, in the Lonsdale Cup at York, 2 miles August 24th, he won by 1.5 lengths there. And again, he always has this weird running style. I've noticed. It looked like he's gonna get beat sometimes, but he still had that extra kick at the end, and he won very nicely. And then before that, in the Goodwood Cup at, of course, Goodwood, going the 2 mile journey, he won by half length, and he beat a good group of horses home, and he won very nicely. And then he put on a show in the Gold Cup, I thought, at Royal Ascot, going the 4,000 meters. He won by 3/4 length, beating probably the best stayer in friend, Vizierabad. Quickened up nicely, stayed on the front end, and it was a great Frank Editori ride. And then the horse started off his season off last year in this race, winning by 3 lengths. A very good run. He was the best stayer in the world last year. He's, he gets the Tory back up. He's going to have to overcome the high weight, but it shouldn't be a problem. I think he'll run well. 2-5, not the best price in the world. To tell you the truth, this is the kind of race I just watch as a fan. To recap, and not really have a bet on, but to recap my selections, if I had to give you a selection for the third, the 3 o'clock from York, it's the Group 2 Yorkshire Cup. Going to go with the 1 horse Stradivarius. I'm going to go 1-8-4 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta to race number 4. The 335, the fourth race from York, it is the Matchbook Best Value Exchange Handicap. It's Class 2 handicap going for a purse $38,500. Races for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses rated 86 to 100. Field of 12 horses going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the one horse Lucius Tiberius. I'm going to go 162 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 162 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, one horse Lucius Tiberius, Godolphin Doan, Charlie Appleby trains. James Doyle is going to be carrying the colors of the blue stable here. His most recent outing came 24th of April at Epsom, a mile and a quarter in a Class 2 handicap. He finished 5th by 5 lengths. He was drawn too wide, and he never had the turn of foot. It wasn't his day to win. Before that, he ran the Group 2 Prix de Harcourt at Longchamp, a mile and a quarter, April the 7th. I thought he ran a decent effort. He finished 4th by 6 lengths. The winner, I think was Overvet next start out in the Prix de Guinée. But this horse, he had a decent turn of foot. He ran well against some tougher horses there. A lot tougher than these horses today. And then the Group 3 Darley Stakes in Newmarket, a mile and the 8th, 18 meters, 13th of October. He finished 4th by 7 lengths, and he just kind of weakened out of it. There he ran a crap race, and then he ran, three consecutive crap races last fall at the Curragh in a handicap, again at the Curragh in a handicap, and then he ran the the Grades 1 Secretariat at Arlington in Chicago here in the States, going a mile and a quarter where he finished 12th by 10 lengths, and from Y Poster, he just ran shit. He never got into it. I think coming here, lesser quality horses from the fall campaign, a little bit of a give in the ground, not good, but not firm either. He's going to like the good to firm ground. I think he'll really, get a good run. 6-1, good poster. I'll take him here. So to recount my selection for the fourth, 335 from York, I'm going to go with the one horse Lucius Tiberius. I'm going to go 162 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. It's race number 5. Race number 5, the 405 from York. It is the Frank Whittle Partnership Fillies Handicap. It's a Class 3 Fillies Handicap going for a purse of $25,500. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Fillies mares only. Field of 17 horses going 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection here, since it's a very wide open race, I'm going to give you 2 horses that I think can win. The 2 horses I would use would be the 6 horse Agent Courts, and I would also use the 11 horse here, Breathtaking Look. So 6-11 here in the 405 from York. The first horse we'll talk about is the 6 horse Agent Court. This 4-year-old gelding by 4-year-old filly by declaration of war. Nathaniel Dudhope gets leg up for David O'Mara. The horse's most recent outing came 27th of April, Doncaster, 7 furlongs in a filly's Class 4 handicap. She finished second by a neck. She really closed up well. She had a decent turn of foot. It was a good effort off the break. Before that, the 19th of October, Newcastle on the Poly Track, on the Tapito, 1 mile in a Class 5 filly's handicap. She won by a half length, and at 25 to 1 with a highway, it doesn't get any easier than that. Shouldn't have been 25 to 1 off of the run. She quickened up nicely, a very good all-out victory, and then an air on soft ground, a mile and a quarter in a Class 4 filly's handicap. She finished 8th by 26 lengths. And she did not like the softer ground. She'll like the ground today, but she didn't like that very soft ground there. And then before that, Class 5 novice, a ripping out going a mile. She beat the boys by 3.5 lengths there, and she was just much the best. It was a very easy run. 8-1, she has a good poster. I think she could get a piece of it, along with the number 11 horse here, Breathtaking Look. This P.J. McDonald ridden Stuart Williams trained 4-year-old filly by Bated Breath. This horse hasn't been seen since the 28th of November at Newcastle. 6 furlongs in a Class 5 novice. Facing the boys that day, she beat them by a half length, and she had a high weight. She was under the dry, but she still got the job done. A very good run. The only time she faced the fillies, though, was probably her worst race in a fillies novice Class 5 at Chelmsford, 7 furlongs on November the 8th. It was first off the break of about 6.5 weeks, so maybe she needed the race, but she finished 5th by 6.5 lengths. She had a high weight, and she just never got into it. But before that, at Yarmouth, going 6 furlongs on firm ground in a Class 5 novice, September the 18th, she won by 2 1/4, and she just ran easily. A very impressive run. She's another good post draw, and I think at 10-1 she could also get a piece fit. So to recount my selection for the 5th, the 405 from York, it is the Frank Whittle Partnership Fillies Handicap. I'll use the number 6 horse here, Asian Courts, and I'll also use the 11 horse Breathtaking Look. So 6-11 here. I'll use them both possibly in an exact or forecast box, maybe even in each way on both of them, but I'll most definitely use them both in the place pod. So now let's get to race number 6. Race number 6, the 435 from York. It is the Yorkshire Equine Practice Handicap. It is a Class 3 handicap going for a purse of $25,500. Race for 3-year-olds only. Horses rated 76 to 90. 15 horses are going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection in this very wide open race. These final 3 races on the card from York today are some of the most wide open races I've seen in quite a while. But my top selection, I'm going to take the 5-horse 10X. I'm going to go 5, 4, 12 in the tri-cash trifecta. 5, 4, 12 tri-cash trifecta. The 5-10X, sorry for that jump cut, but my cats were acting stupid. But the 5-horse 10X, that's 3-year-old going by Slade Power. Ryan Moore gets the leg up. The horse's most recent appearance came the 30th of April at Nottingham, yielding ground 5 furlongs in a Class 4 handicap. The horse finished second by 1 3/4 lengths there, and he just never had the jump. Ran okay, but just never had that good turn of foot. Before that, Thursday, the 13th of April, 5 furlongs in a Class 3 handicap. The horse finished third by half length, and again, had a really good turn of foot. I thought that race was good off the break, and then ran at Fairhouse in Ireland, 6 furlongs in a handicap at the end of September. Finished third by 3.5 lengths there, and there, the horse just weakened out of it. It wasn't the day to win. And then an Avon 5 furlongs in a handicap. The horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths. With quick pace that day, the horse ran well. I expect a really quick pace on the front end, and I think it's going to set up towards a horse like with this particular running style. Ryan Moore's had a bit of a quiet week so far. I think he could get a good victory here. So at 6-1, I'll take the chances with this one from the inside. So to recap my selection for the 6th, 435 from York, it's the Yorkshire Equine Practice Handicap. Let's go with the 5-horse 10X. I'm going to go 5, 4, 12 in the tri-cash trifecta to race number 7. The 505, the 7th race from York. It is Longines Irish Champions Weekend Handicap. It's Class 4 handicap going for a purse of $27,000. Race for 3-year-olds only. Horses rated 66 to 85. 10 horses are going the 2,400 meters or 1.5 miles on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 3-horse Fraser Islands. I'm going to go 357 in the tri-cash trifecta. 357 tri-cash trifecta. Top selection, 3-horse Fraser Island. This 3-year-old gelding by Australia. Sylvester de Sousa gets the leg up from Mark Johnston. The horse's most recent outing came the 5th of May in Newmarket. Mount a quarter in a Class 3 handicap. The horse finished second by 6 lengths there, and he just never had the turn of foot like the others did that day. Well, the other one in front of him, Naive Road, is a decent horse who had in front of him. It just wasn't the day to win. Before that, 17th of April, Beverly. Mount a quarter in a Class 4 handicap. In that lower end race, he did everything right. He won by 1 3/4 lengths, quickened up nicely in the front end. It was a very good run. And then at Newcastle on the 22nd of November, Mount a quarter in a Class 4 maiden. The horse finished third by 5 1/4 lengths there. And, again, he just never quickened up like the ones in front of him. I think coming here to York, back to firm ground, which I think he'll like, to the 1.5-mile trip, which I think he's right for. He's going to love this 1.5-mile trip, I actually say. And, I just think he'll run very, very well. So at 5-1, I'll take him, and he'll be my best bet of the day to end off the card. So to recap my selection for the 7th, the 505 from York, I'm going to go with the 3-horse Fraser Islands. I'm going to go 357 in the tri-cash trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.